Oh yeah, how's that barge?
I'm
What would you expect from like a Lego present? And like, let's say
and that's probably
Like,
what's not happening. I'd have to really sit down and think about, okay, so they're
let's
there.
brainstorm it. We're here.
I was like, I want everyone to feel what we're feeling here, because it's a week where you're just hanging with everybody, having a great time. Because that's what bothers me the most.
But there was some animosity towards that last time.
Yeah, well, I mean, because you got people that feel like there's preferential treatment.
Going into convention where I didn't know a lot of people.
Yeah.
It definitely
that would be
was,
different, yeah.
You also wouldn't want to be a mock builder with no audience.
Right.
So if there's no one coming to see it, you
And
definitely have a loyalty.
Kills me when we have to like miss shows. Like, it's meaningful to me.
Like this past Thursday when I couldn't listen to you guys when I'm on the replay
He
game and
always
run my
texts
marathon.
me.
Man, what the hell was that?
Yeah,
I needed you guys, man.
ACOB is the comments section come to life. That is what it is.
Yeah. Which one are you? Is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
Oh,
That's
my bad.
too much?
Yeah, is that better?
You did too much. Go back.
Come along with shy if we take
All
this
right.
ride to a coffee time.
What's up, dude?
Chilling, dude. Back in Cali, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right? I mean, how's it feel to be back in Los Angeles?
Wild, man. Especially coming from North Carolina where things are slow. You can just like park there. Very like we got coffee before this, and I'm like, I don't know how you're gonna get in here, man. But yeah, just the traffic, just the sheer amount of people is crazy. I do like though that there's something every 10 seconds here. I do miss that. I'm not a country roads kind of guy.
Country road.
It's like, you got to really earn that target. You know what I mean? You got to really go far to get there.
I don't know what that's like. I'm so used to having Targets like literally 5 seconds from
and not just like anything, right? Like here, check cashing, cell phone store. Those things bring me comfort just to know there's stuff there. I like stuff.
So you're like hardcore, not even suburb. It's like
we are for what it is. Yeah, I'm a couple minutes from the airport. I say that about my tire. It's 5 minutes from the house. Like
okay.
But I'm saying just like in general, like there's a quest to go to stuff, and you drive a lot of empty roads before you get to the stuff.
So what's it like to have not traffic? Like no traffic. What's that like?
It's pretty cool. I mean, it's where you think it is for like school morning, and then the 5 o'clock. But it's like a light snack.
It's not. It's
like
a
5 minute inconvenience.
Oh, come on.
We're backed up, man. This is crazy.
So how was that drive in from the airport?
Oh man. Well, so we were supposed to come into Burbank. Shout out to Burbank. Anyone who knows how to travel here goes to Burbank.
Yep.
It's a locals thing. We got into LAX at 4:45 p.m. on a Friday. We were supposed to get into Burbank at 12:30.
Okay,
chilling. That's easy breezy. So long story short, we were staying up in Santa Clarita. 4:47, got our bags around 5-ish. Didn't get to the house till 7:30. I mean, and that's and that can be a 35-minute drive optimally. So
yeah, no,
extra
joke.
90 tacked on.
But you also came in on a marathon weekend.
We did, dude.
So
hey, you're limping
I can't
a little.
walk, man.
You're limping.
I feel like someone shoved. That's what it feels like.
No, but you're limping lightly, I would say. I thought you'd be in worse shape, but you've had a couple of recovery days.
2 days. Today's the Wednesday, as of recording this, the Wednesday after the marathon, which was on Sunday. So the Sunday, 2 days after you arrived. But people were flying in a lot into LAX.
Yeah.
That's the time you arrived because they had to pick up their bibs on Friday and Saturday. And then, they have to do the expo stuff and then the runs on Sunday. But yeah, dude, with the whole weekend, I ran a 5K on Saturday and then a marathon on Sunday. So I ran almost 30 miles.
Good God.
In the weekend.
Why did you do the bonus 5K? Was that a warm-up?
I'm a medal chaser. That's like one of my incentives.
You got to do the Disney ones, man.
Man, I'm not there yet.
They have those goated medals. Man.
Yeah, I'm kind of hyped myself to that. I've already officially, I guess it's really up to my wife. My wife wants to do it now. Yeah. So like she's about to turn 40, and like she's like, I have to do this.
She cool with you putting that out there?
Yeah,
all right.
We're proud of how old we are.
Good.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. So she's about to hit the big 4-0. She doesn't look it, but she wants to physically see if she's capable. It's a good and like start of her 40s. So like she's committed to doing it next year. So exactly a year from now, she'll be running the marathon. I didn't think I was going to do it again, but because she's doing it, I'm gonna run it with her.
Nice.
But yeah, I've been thinking about the Disney ones.
Yeah.
They have the one here in Disney. I don't think it's like the full dopey like
they have the Disneyland ones. I think they're definitely a lot different, less than,
Yeah.
shorter, whatever.
They're like
I'm
half
not
marathons,
sure.
I
I just know it feels like month, quarter. I mean, Rob would definitely know.
Rob does a dopey every year with
That's where you run all three.
You run, you do 5K, 10K, half marathon, and marathon.
So all 4.
You get 4,
and then you get a medal for doing the 4. Yeah.
So I did something like that. So 5K.
I would do Disneyland. I think has. I'm not sure what their max one is, but that'd be like a good get yourself registered into the system and do that. But then get down to World for that thing. Yeah.
No, definitely. That'll be very expensive because once you got to buy a race ticket for each one, and then I think you get in Disney for free.
Look, man, I know how much it is to, and so do you, to feed a family of 4 in Disney. That's just for lunch. Imagine what
I did.
Imagine what the registration for these.
So apparently, there's a resort.
Yeah.
In I think it's called Shady Greens.
Yeah.
You know what it is?
The military. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can go to that one.
Oh, you get it for next to nothing.
I get it $159.
I think it's $109. Yeah, something
that's
like that.
Nothing.
Yeah, that's right.
So how far is that from?
Right there. You're
dude.
good. Yeah, and I think it has the free. So what's cool about Disney World is, when you definitely, even if it's a little more, I always recommend staying on site. Obviously, there's hotels around it, just like in Anaheim, but their transportation system is like unmatched.
Next level.
Yeah, you either take the bus, the monorail, or boats. They have the Skyliner now. I highly recommend staying there, even if it's $100 more a night or whatever. You can get it done on a value, and for you with your discount.
Oh yeah,
no brainer.
So now it's just buying a ticket.
Yeah. Well,
so you never know.
I have a homie hookup on that too.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, I appreciate that. But like, I think I might do Dopey one year. I don't know if I'm gonna do it anytime soon. So
you would go straight to Dopey though.
I'll straight go. Might as well. I'm chasing medals. So this is the reason.
Yeah.
This is the reason why I did the 5K.
Because you can just go in and do like a marathon.
Yeah, no,
you want the
But
stat.
when I walked out, I had 3 medals.
Yeah.
Like I had the marathon medal. I had the 5K, 24K.
You were 3
medal,
chains. Yeah.
And then I got the LA Conquer medal. So you do like a 10K. We were supposed to do a half marathon in January.
Yeah.
At Pasadena,
right?
Which got postponed till after the marathon, so I still got to run that. But it's half a marathon. It's a half. I'm good.
It's a light snack.
Yeah,
you don't even limp
I'm like, whatever. But I chased medals. But by the way, we just talked about Pasadena, dude. Hey, you went through a whole thing over there in North Carolina. We went through something here in LA, dude.
Yeah.
I'm sad that it's kind of sucks that you weren't here for this and you're going through your own stuff. But seeing LA come together, dude, was pretty next level.
Yeah, and that's the thing that, there's media coverage of all these events, and just for reference, for people who don't know, we had a devastating hurricane out there in North Carolina. You guys had fires again out here, and I think a lot of people, without getting political, are looking to like what services are being rendered and what side is responsible and all that. And to that I say, wherever you sit with that, it's like there's only so much a lot of FEMA and all that stuff can do realistically, especially on the ground, like in the moments after. I think we all agree. I think it should be improved generally. I don't care who's running it. But yeah, the coolest thing was, so this hurricane, devastating, blew through around 11 a.m. The dust was starting to settle. The winds had calmed a little bit down. And it was cool, man. Outside, all you heard was like chainsaw. Like everybody jumped into action.
Dude, trees, man, were falling like
they were all over it. Yeah, it was horrible. And but you're right. I mean, I think the coolest thing it does suck that it takes those types of events to bring out the best in people. But it absolutely happened. I know it happened here. I saw it with my own eyes there. Everyone pitching in, helping neighbors being neighborly, putting anything aside, all that stuff.
Yeah, man.
Until any kind of reinforcements come in. Again, those early hours, there's people pinned down. There's people blocked from literally trapped in their house. And you love to see it because no matter what kind of force you have, you can't expect them to be all eyes everywhere, seeing all of it.
No, man. There's a lot of heroes that were not also the heroes that we have.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, there was so much.
There's unsung left and right. I mean, there were dudes, on private jets and private helicopters, just flying in supplies off the rip just to do it. Now, some, I think, did some look at me stuff, and some you just you'll never hear of them. Whatever, content, but I guess that's a thing.
It is.
And I used to be upset with that kind of stuff, but now I'm like, I don't care, dude. If that's what it took for you to bring all that water to people, is you want to like show yourself doing it, like, do it, man. But besides all that, it was cool because the helicopter thing is interesting because like out in that region, dude, there's people on the sides of mountains that don't want to be found quite literally.
Oh
and so they're like looking for whatever. And just so that was really cool to get the urgent supplies like there, pull people out of stuff. Same thing that I talked about like I guess at the ground level, up in the mountains too. So yeah,
that's intense, man. Well, hopefully none of that happens anytime soon. I think we're
we could all use a break from natural disasters,
now, man. But anyways, welcome back to LA. I'm happy you're here. I'm finally happy you made it to my crib.
I know, dude. Well, I mean, it's weird because I mean we've always been buds, but like with wife, kids, travel, all that, it's tough. And I would meet up with you at the Lego store and stuff, and I think we made some plans for you to come over, or I to come over here.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is happening every time. Now it's like even more special because it's more. We don't have the chance.
But then I think it makes me sad that we never really took advantage of it.
No, and I think it's because we thought we had all this time,
and then you split.
Then I split. and I ditched. I rode out.
Asshole.
I went to Hurricane Land instead.
Dude, everybody left me, man. You left, and Harry left too.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah,
he's not even that close, but we were close.
He's out in Nashville now.
Yeah, he's closer to you.
Yeah.
So
we got to do a collabo.
For sure, man. But yeah, at least I got to kick it with him for like a second. But there's not that many people left in SoCal. There is a convention coming up around here soon.
What is it?
In Solvang.
Oh, yeah.
By the time this is out, I probably posted something about it. Yeah. I hope it's cool. It's going to be small. It's not like a convention.
That's a cool little town, though.
Yeah.
They have a little odd, out of nowhere Lego store in there.
It's really. Well, let's talk about that in a second because we have this to build.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know when this is coming out.
Yeah,
so
that's fine.
It's going to be after Katie's episode.
This brand new set right here.
Yeah, right. Well, if you guys paid attention to, or go back to Katie's episode, Lego sent us this box of build togetherness. It's on the floor. I can't reach it. If I reach it, everything's going to fall over. But
it's very nice.
They sent us a few sets to build on here. So, I'm not trying to take it from, building friendships. My bad. This is your thing, but for the purposes of this, we're gonna build using the app that we're supposed to highlight.
The Builder app,
The Builder app. Yeah. So they sent us the Polaroid One Step SX70K. Do you remember using these in real life?
Oh yeah,
I remember using these.
I'm old enough to use these.
You're actually old enough to use one of these. But yeah, so we're gonna build this. Thank you for setting it for free, Legos. We appreciate you. We're gonna pull that up on our phones. Now I remember.
I just did this interview to get me to build on a street. Right? It's never happened before. So
Katie and I weren't enjoying this, to be honest.
What,
so
building on a street?
Building, because you're going to see it right now. It's not like what you think it's going to be. We're going to be, hold on, don't open anything yet.
Oh.
That's why I'm going to show you right now. So we have to, I guess, find the set. So search the set right quick. So
yeah, I pulled it up.
What's the number?
You're 21345.
21345.
It's good to see that these Polaroids are printed, man.
Right.
That's nice.
Also, did you hit build together?
No.
So you have to hit build together, not start building.
See, I always skip the instructions.
Right. So the thing here is that it's going to tell you exactly which bags to open per person.
Got it.
So I'm building. I put build together.
Okay. I'm going to go to build together. There it is.
There we go. And then just wait.
Does it know we're on the same?
I guess. I said, got it. Let's see. Got it. Start building party. Join party.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you start?
I didn't start. Oh, let me start one. Did you start it? Or
you can start it.
Okay, I'll start it.
New party, and then you give me the number.
Okay. 602.
This is slick.
602983.
All right.
Cool. Reply to party. Ready to party. Sweet. Okay, I'm gonna be.
It says I'm looking. I'm here.
I'm in. There you go. Okay, so
right.
You have to choose your character.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna be the captain on the boat.
I think I'm gonna be the Kang.
Okay, that works.
Yeah.
All right.
Plus, I can't select anybody else, so it won't work.
All right. So as that's loading, what were we talking about? Oh yeah. So Solvang.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be this. I mean, again, we're talking about like it hasn't happened yet, but it has already happened at the time. Oh, build. Hit build.
Oh.
So I guess we open the first bag.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So it says open just first bag. Just put this all down.
Now, since I'm a pro, I know we're gonna need these.
So have you seen paper bags in your sets?
No.
No.
I don't get those luxurious import sets.
Yeah, right. Right. So. Has the sets like the foldable ones come out yet? Have you seen those?
Foldable?
I haven't really purchased anything large recently.
I have. I just don't build them.
Oh yeah, how's that barge?
I'm gonna do it live. I told you that. Everyone's like, that has to be your first live build. Which
right?
So technically, it still can be because this is gonna be recorded. This thing. But,
yeah, right.
This is cool.
Yo, so you actually like it? So Kate and I were talking about how
this app.
Yeah, the app and all that kind of stuff.
I know. I've been using the app. I've used it before. I've never done a party though.
Oh, I know. This is new.
Yeah. Definitely new. What's cool about this though is usually. you have to do a separate instruction manual to do this. But now we're able to do this and pull from the same bag, which is unique, I think, to.
No, it's definitely different for sure. I'm not good with talking and building, so I don't know how good you're gonna do.
Let's finish this bag, and then we're.
so obviously we can't multitask. We can't multitask. Multitask. So yeah, so Solvang is having an event.
Yeah,
I hope it's cool. It's gonna be at the veteran, I guess, building.
Yeah,
that they have over there. It's the first one. I think Bricklink is sponsoring it. That's what it looks like.
Bricklink's really getting out there. Man. Yeah, I like to see it. You know. A lot of BDP stuff, but just just having them out there at events, just a presence is really cool. You know, I feel like I'm seeing, as far as I know, like some Lego corporate folks attend a lot of these events, but a lot of times, I guess, for lack of a better term, they're like plain clothes, you know, whereas BDP actually has a presence, which I think is pretty cool.
I mean, Lego used to do that.
Yeah, just be out front.
I think when you see them, because they do come to Brick World.
Yeah.
You'll see them in their like polo, the official Lego polo.
Right. I'm saying, but they don't scream their
Oh yeah,
like they don't have a booth. They don't like formally sort of interact.
Right? That makes sense.
Which, I mean, it's not a knock. It's just an observation.
No, I get it. So is that something that you would want to see?
I think so.
Well, what would you expect from like a Lego presence? And like, let's say
that's probably what's not happening. I'd have to really sit down and think about, okay, so they're there.
Let's brainstorm it. We're here.
Well, yeah. So I mean, I think everybody wants to see what's coming next, right? And I think like, and I'm not talking like just straight up leak culture stuff, but like, what's the timing on that? So that's in June, Father's Day. Like, if they had, which is fully possible, you doing what you do, maybe just have a couple of the August sets there, even in box, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
You know, and just talk about what's new. Get together a mailing list. Ask them what's popping about the event. What brought them out there? I think there's valuable data points at conventions, because these are probably, especially the ones who stay for a week, the most hardcore they can get. Now, granted, I know they try to appeal to the masses and all that, but if they can tap into something about them that they could then leverage into their marketing, even for, as we call them, normies, I think there's valuable insights.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because we see them walking around, but that's on the private days. But what did the public see with these representatives? That they don't know. So, like, the thing is, I remember, I mean, just looking at older videos before we even showed up to this community, like I think they used to like reveal some.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So whether reveal or not, but like, example, always go to Star Wars. There's going to be allegedly, supposedly, some heaters coming out in August. June, obviously.
What color is that?
That's yellow and blue. Production.
I'm not colorblind.
No,
it just looks weird.
Production is done there. This is weird. They just had me do this, but they didn't tell me what to do with it.
Oh, so go back. Let me know when you're done.
I am. Oh,
you finish?
Yeah, but I don't know where this.
I'm supposed to give this to you.
Okay.
Yeah. It says, look, see that? It told me to give it to you.
Okay.
And then, so now I'm building.
I didn't see where I put the black.
This is the confusing part about the app. Like, this is the.
Very cool, though. We're making good progress.
Yeah. What were you saying?
But look, I'm trying to figure out where to put this.
Oh, the other side of the.
I got to make two. No, I don't know. Well, okay. So then, if for everything I just said, right, take it or leave it, that might be a reason to go. It might not be a reason to go. It'd be hard to get budget for any of this stuff because everybody wants to automate everything nowadays. But I still think in-person's huge, and it's going to become more of a hot commodity as AI.
I mean, do you think it's fair that they do it at like San Diego Comic-Con?
Yeah. I mean, because they're going to get the most impressions out of there. So my business brain works there, but. You know, you preach community and all this stuff and actually support small communities, lugs, et cetera, stuff like that. Smaller creators, smaller channels. Like, let's see it. Come out there and do it. And by the way, this isn't some small rinky-dink show. Shout out to the rinky-dink shows. I mean, this is Brick World Chicago, where, you know, everybody who's anybody is going to be there. So, like, if you're going to go to one,
might
do that.
As well.
And then secondly, from a more mischievous standpoint, I think they should be casing all these conventions to see what these guys and gals are doing right, because they should.
As in what the conventions themselves or
yes, what's popping at the convention? No, all of it.
Okay,
the convention's doing right. What's popping there? Again, getting data points on the people attending them so that they can slowly, quietly build to their own Super Bowl convention. For the life of me, I don't know why Lego doesn't have.
I mean, does Scareback count?
We're talking in the States, bro.
Oh, okay.
Not everybody has the scratch to get over there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that would be cool for a Lego actual event in the States. Would be pretty fun to see.
I'm not going to let this slow me down, but this does not tell me where these go.
I don't think it's supposed to.
Okay, cool.
But so this is the confusing part, is that like you'll build something and then you don't know what to do.
You just set it aside.
Yeah, you just set it aside.
I like that.
Something.
All right, Polaroid logo.
Oh, damn, we're like destroying this. Is there more bags to this? Oh yeah, there are.
Yeah.
Wait, that's the wrong.
Dude, I'll be honest with you. To me, like we're done with like the coolest part. The camera's cool, but I love this the little cartridge. It's awesome.
I don't know if I'm doing this right. I can't tell. Oh, see now I get you. See now I grab. See how I was doing that? It's like grab those two pieces
of
that
mine.
you built. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how it works. So I guess
we're building together, man.
If it in the
universe,
in the spirit, no, in the spirit of what it's supposed to be, we're technically building together. So like we're so used to like just building on your own, or you build this bag, I build this bag. This one,
let's complicate it.
Yeah, let's make it really weird.
Make it. Hey, it'll make it last longer because I think I'd be done with this bag almost if I didn't have these instructions.
That's true. That is true. So, but yeah, Katie and I weren't feeling this at all.
I see the potential. I don't know about the teamwork thing. I see what they're going for. I think it's aspirational, but let me,
give it a chance.
I'll give it a chance.
Yeah, give it a chance.
I'm too judgmental.
I will say like the second time around, just because I know what to expect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's actually not that bad.
Yeah, no, I like it.
But yeah, before we were going at this and we were like, is that right?
Yeah.
Is this supposed to do that? So we're like,
and I guess we should think about it too. When you're doing a build by yourself solo with the old school, you do make stuff to set aside for later. So I don't know why I expected, like, I need to place this immediately.
Like, where does this go?
Immediately.
Where does this go? I mean, what about, okay, so you're a parent like me.
Yeah.
You have kids. Do you like really let them, do you want them to be app immersed?
Yeah.
Or dependent, I guess you would say?
No, I think it's important they learn both, but like they both have their little iPads, which, it's a struggle for parents just as far as like how to ration screen time and everything.
Yeah.
Are you making this? No, I am.
No,
okay.
No.
So yeah, they do, but they can do either, which is awesome.
Yeah, I try to keep them off the iPad as much as possible. Yeah. It's so bad.
I just flew across the country, so that's when exceptions are made.
Oh, no, I get that. Restaurant. Although, if our parents had the same ability, they'll do it too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
For sure. There's no way.
Well, I mean, we had the 6 action figures that you could fit in the bag and,
Oh, I'm supposed to grab your little thing when you're done.
This?
Yeah.
Jeez, I've missed steps. Here? I don't know, man.
Okay. So I'm supposed to do this.
So like, look, I've done this now.
I can't tell if this is gray or translucent. You know what I mean? Right?
That's black or
no. The
white,
piece, the gray piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what is the white the gray?
It's gray. Well, I would assume it's gray because it's the only gray piece of these that we have, these plates. All right. So
this is
conventions. We were talking about solving. I hope it's cool. Again, it's not gonna be like Brick World where it's this huge thing. It's not gonna be like even a Brickfest Live. None of that.
No.
It's gonna be in this small, definitely grassroots hall of a veteran center.
Yep.
And like how it, which I'm assuming happens a lot throughout the country because not everyone has the ability to do
a full blown
giant shows. But I am chasing that event brick that I know they're going to give out.
Oh, yeah, you like this.
I love those, man. Again, I chase medals. Is that a problem?
No, you like your little knick-knack collectibles.
Yeah, I love that.
I love it too. I love that you love it. I just, I gave up on chasing those dragons.
I didn't chase military medals. So let's just put that out there in case someone wants to call me out on that one. That one I did not chase. Those just happened. But so I'm excited for the potential of that show. I hope it continues.
Yeah.
Because LA's been dry.
I'm like making my own instructions, by the way, over here.
Are you?
Yeah. There's gaps. I might be doing something you're supposed to be doing, but I'm like, I can't put this together till it's done.
There's also another one. I think that's supposed to be like closer to the LAX. I don't know. The name is kind of weird to me. I'm not really feeling it. But no, man,
we're extravaganza,
something like that. But I'm hoping one day we can come back to Bricks LA status.
Oh yeah.
Or
you told me about the glory days of that. I think that was happening like before I got here or got into it, I guess.
Yeah.
So
it was like end of the first year of COVID. Lego Masters Season 1.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
That's old school.
That is old school.
So I was watching Season 1 just like as something to watch without really even being into it. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of cool in retrospect.
Oh, yeah.
That I caught a little bit of that.
But you haven't watched any of it?
No, I'm saying I watched it as like a casual, I was probably their very much so intended audience.
A normie.
Yeah, I was on the normie side of the fence for that one.
Oh, okay. So that your little whatever you built, is that what you're building right now?
Yes, whatever this is.
Whatever, that weird.
This is not.
This.
Yeah.
I need that.
Okay, take it. I think I got it.
I think that's it.
This is a lot harder.
Oh, wait. So I give this to you?
I don't know. Here
you go.
All right.
See, this is the confusing part. I don't know who's building what.
I think the city style, you get off to this helicopter, I get after the tractor is a good.
Yeah, that's a better way of figuring this out.
No, I'm not leaving. Oh no, it says trade again. No, stay. Look at this. Not the best ad for this Shy.
It's all good. Hey, we're being honest.
Yeah, it's saying, honest. Oh no, connection failed. I'll leave and come back.
Yeah, come back.
Okay.
Let's see what it says on my end. While it does that.
That's the most old school trick there is. The close, start again.
All right. So we're talking about conventions. We have Brickworld coming up.
Oh, yeah.
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 So you've been doing a lot with Brickworld the past year.
Yeah.
And a half, or maybe 2 years now.
Yeah. I mean, we just started going, as fans, like anyway, and still are, but through meeting Mark and, some of the great folks out there, and then just attending it at first, like for one day, and then expanding it to knew I wanted to do the week-long thing. We've been doing that the last few years. And yeah, I mean, I think just working with Mark and looking at, again, trying to, not that it wasn't great before or isn't great before, but I'm just like, well, I'm over here just consuming all this. Like what could I add to this fiasco? And so one of the things was just because of our pure raw love for it. I think as far as being recruiters, I mean, I feel like we've brought
definitely you guys shout out.
It's every show. I mean, so from that point, I was like, I want everyone to feel what we're feeling here, because it's a week where you're just hanging with everybody, having a great time. And then as far as the extracurricular stuff, yeah, I mean, Mark creates this playground where, even if it's loosely based on Lego, you can incorporate it into the show. Just sign up and volunteer to do the event, and you kind of have your,
So how would you describe Brickworld to someone who's a new Lego fan?
Yeah.
Doesn't really know anything about the Lego community.
Yeah.
Is not really more. It's kind of getting out of more than just a casual.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They're ready to take that next step.
Yeah, that next step of they found the online community. You know what I mean? Whether that's Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, whatever, YouTube.
Yeah.
How would you explain it or pitch it to them?
So I mean, all right. So this is on the basis everyone kind of knows what a convention is. It's where a lot of people with a common interest gather to, do the thing, right? And here's what's interesting. I guess how I would describe it is
I'm not ignoring you, by the way.
No, it's fine. No, I'm trying to get going in my app. No, I think you would describe it as okay, have you been to any? It depends on what their answer is. If you've been to any, so you've been to an event where they have a bunch of mocks out there. Okay, well, picture this.
I've been to a Brickfest Live.
Okay. So
I'm playing the part. I'm playing to the part of the Brickfest Live, because that's usually everyone's first.
Yeah, so that's more of just a fun little activity for kids or whatever. Brickworld, you're going to see the best of the best, the most elite sort of mock builders in the world.
Okay,
football field size of that for some creative builds. Top of their game.
Okay,
anything and everything you'd want to see. That's on the front end, but then you can start getting into. But then there's also panels and breakout sessions and events and learning new techniques. The social aspect is huge. I would probably lead with that. I'm giving you a pitch that I probably wouldn't, it depends. Do I know you? But if you're into it and you're just looking to make some friends that are into the same shit that you are, I mean, I would just go, because we do hear, and you hear it a lot, Shy, from your people in your community. They don't have any boys or buds that they can relate to on this, that like it as much as they do, and think of Lego as more than just the thing that's on the shelf, So I think Brickworld really welcomes, everybody and anybody in. There's no judging because everybody there is inherently. I mean, there shouldn't be any judging.
I'm gonna say
there shouldn't be any judging.
No drama.
There shouldn't be any judging. There shouldn't be any drama because inherently everybody there is a nerd at the end of the day. Like, sorry, we are for this stuff. So, but I think as far as a safe space, that's like a big $2 term. Fair. I do feel like you're going to find at least, even if you're antisocial, I think you could do well there because you can just kind of roam with groups and get into cliques. Like we've had people like, I'm not great at meet people. I'm like, well, you know us because you've been hanging out with us on streams. Like you already have a little bit of a network. Come in and hang with us. We'll bring you in. But yeah, Brickworld, it's hard. It's hard to really describe. It's like at its surface, it's the biggest Lego convention in the United States, probably the world. I know there's a big one over there, but I don't know the footage and attendance. So it's that part. But to me, who's not the biggest into mocks and everything, I just love.
You like to hang.
I like to hang. I like the extracurricular. I like the vendors. I like having that with the mocks. I like the access to the restaurants in the area. I like knowing that all my friends that I only see online are going to be there in person. I like meeting new people. I like meeting. We're starting to, gaining a little bit of size here. We're having, a couple dozen people there specifically to hang with us.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's really cool. That's really rewarding. And it's funny because they're like, would you guys be cool if we hung with you? Like, yeah, dude, we're nobody. Come on out and go. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
it's definitely accessible.
It's
for sure.
It's always a little bit grounding, but really it's what you make of it. That's the other answer. I struggle for it because it's so many things, but I think Brickworld's whatever you make of it. And it's just this big playground where, all your Lego dreams can come true. No, but there's like, again, if you're into mocks, there's that there too. You want to go buy shit? There's a lot of that there too, which is funny because conventions, I don't know about you, but in most other worlds, it's really just a place to buy shit.
Yeah, no, that's definitely
right. I mean, you go to these the military collectibles events you go to, or
Biker Fest. Yeah, Biker Fest, buying everything.
Biker Fest is all about buying the limited stuff. So there is that aspect to it too. So that's what I like about it. Is if you're just purist and you just want to be a builder guy, which you have your feet in every single arena, you like to bring a build. You like that. You respect that part of the hustle. You like to also go hunt for deals. You very much so like to see your friends. You like to have a few beverages in the lobby with the boys. I mean, it's whatever you want it to be.
Don't forget making content too.
And so if you're into this sort of thing, you can make videos and content. So Shai takes advantage and sees people that he only sees, and he does these interviews. For us, one thing I am proud of, we actually built and will have again our own live stream space, not just for ACOB, but for anybody who wants to do it.
Are we calling it Influencer Corner again?
No.
Can we change that name?
It might be like Content Corner. It will not be Influencer Alley.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
I don't like any. I've told you this. I don't like any of those words. I don't like creator because I think there's probably only a handful of actual creators in this world. Not even being religious. I'm like, content. You know what I think it is, Shai? I think a lot of these terms are cool for people to use behind the scenes. I don't like doing it out in front of people.
I think that's because
that's what bothers me the most.
But there was some animosity towards that last time.
Yeah, well, I mean, because you got people that feel like there's preferential treatment, and I think like people need to understand that. And I'm saying people. I'm just saying like our friends out there, the community, the whatever avenue it's coming from. I think they need to understand that. Yes, there are content creators there. Ugh, cringe. But they're there actually to promote themselves, but by association they're promoting Brickworld.
Yeah. And
some might be just there to promote Brickworld too. There's different,
different levels
sort of masters, at work, right? But you should look at it as an opportunity, like them showing it off and what's possible there and what happens there actually keeps the business that you love afloat to a degree.
How so?
Because they're promoting the event. I think the reach that you have, that we have, our little baby tiny reach, and the reach of like the real baller, real high view count, they're showing people what happens at Brickworld, and that's going to help draw
the public there.
Yeah,
definitely.
If that stops, then traditional media tools are at their weakest, newspapers, whatever. So if social is not there promoting it, people are not going to hear about it. You have good old school word of mouth, and you got people that have been going forever. But I know factually from us, again, in our little small corner of the universe, we have driven dozens of people to it specifically.
Oh, no doubt.
And again, we're small potatoes. So like I get the frustration, but I would just say like,
but you're also making people come in, not like making people, that kind of sounds weird, but like you're promoting people to come during the non-public hours,
for sure,
buying that price point of a ticket, spending extra money for the hotel, spending extra money at the vendors there. So you're actually bringing a huge chunk of income to the convention that the public, even if like 100 people is what valued to what, or maybe 200 people is valued to one private event holder.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. At those price points. So like you need those people coming in, and you're bringing more people into the private days.
Yeah, for sure.
More than the public.
Yeah. And I think but to me, that's how to get the best value from the event, because that's what I'm into.
Yeah.
I've said this to you 1,000 times. I respect mocks. I respect what they do. I'm envious of it. I started late in the game. I know you're not big on excuses. I don't have the room, the time, the anything for it. But I will acknowledge that there's some really talented folks out there. But what gets me going about...
Oh, yeah, we're still here.
Yeah.
It's like we're still here.
What gets me going about Brick World, though, is the extracurriculars.
Yes.
It is the fringe stuff. It is running through the lobby and hugging Shy for the first time. It is, hey, man, I'm going to Taco Bell. Do you want anything? It is... Dude, I heard a yard sale is going to break out in the middle of nowhere. Hey, did you hear Steve has a couple of T6s for $40? Like the weird stuff. It's the stuff that I like, like the sport says, that doesn't show up in the box score. It's that kind of stuff. But then tangibly, if you're not into the social aspect or the buying aspect, there is some hardcore purist, mostly actually, I would argue, hardcore Lego purist stuff going on. Yes. I am not like everybody else. You know this better than anybody. Yes. I am different. I'm built different. I'm a hype guy. I like what's new, what's popping, what's around the corner. And I'm constantly surprised there. And I think that's why I love it the most. I'm surprised almost moment by moment. I never know when I'm going to bump into you in the hallway.
No, you don't.
And it's always like, you good? You good? Yeah. What do you got going on later? We might do dinner that night, but that might be the next one. It doesn't matter. It's like,
just knowing that you're there.
Yeah,
I have access
you're around.
to you.
All right, good.
I have access to you.
Yeah, it's comfortable, and so it does take a year or two to get your footing. I will say, I think the whole roster that has come the last few years with us is back because they understand it now. Yeah, it is hard to describe. I think
it is.
I've just given 10,000 words, but Brick World is hard to describe. It's a feeling. It's family. It's weird. Like I'm not trying to overbrand it.
It's a rally point.
I can't overhype it. I've said it on our stream. It's hard to explain, and maybe it's happening elsewhere. And that was my first exposure to a convention that really hit me like that. Because I used to go to Comic-Con every year, so I live across the street, San Diego. I lived across the street from it. I didn't feel any of that there, and that's just so massive and it's different.
But do you think it's like? It's because your friends are at Brick World. Like you knew people at Brick World. You're having fun with people over there. Yeah. Because I went to Atlanta like just recently for the first time, right? Although I
thought you had been previous.
No, I've never been to Atlanta. Okay. So that was my first time in Atlanta at Atlanta BrickCon. I think there's potential there. I'm not trying to destroy Brick World at all, but I'm just saying the layout's almost similar as far as a hotel to convention, which makes Brick World amazing.
That's great. That is another good point. Yeah, you can go
definitely do that. But like all the homies weren't there.
Right.
So there were some there. There's some of the crew was there. So like it was, hi. Yeah. And then we all split. But like it wasn't like Brick World where like it's constant. Yeah. Like I knew where everyone is. I have options. I can kick with there. I talk to you there. It just keeps going. Yeah. That was kind of grounding for me because most of my convention work was at Brick World. Yeah. Right. Or like Slopes or like or Brick, where I knew a lot of people.
Right.
Right. So going into convention where I didn't know a lot of people.
Yeah.
It definitely
that would be different. Yeah.
It definitely hits differently.
Yeah.
So like to the aspect of you saying
I should go, that one's really close.
It's close to you. You should go.
It's a 3-hour drive. I have no reason.
Oh yeah, no excuse.
It's just there's only so much you can do in a year.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, like what you were saying about the social media aspect to it was Brick World's huge because we have to acknowledge the fact that Brick World was always huge,
right?
Yes, but it really exploded like after COVID. When everybody started coming back and people were, let's say, even my video of like this little hype house video only generated like 5,000 views. That's 5,000 people that saw how much we were having fun. Your shows that you generate, average 160 viewers at a time, but then over time is like 2,000 views in that entire video. Right. Constant promotion of that.
Oh yeah.
that generates like real people that will spend the money to fly over there, get a hotel room,
and they're going to bring innocent bystanders too.
And they're going to be like,
they're going to bring their families.
Yeah, I brought my families.
So it's more than that. Yeah, no, I agree. And so you've got, you know, again, a couple dozen, let's say, that were in that area total, right? And so like, you know, just as a promotional tool, and again, it to me, it's like the most reciprocal relationship there is.
Yeah.
They're there to be seen, to make contacts, to make contacts, to make content about the thing. And then Brickworld gives them sort of the platform to do so.
Yes.
And inherently they're going to rub each other's backs. And it's in the most clean, plutonic way there is. Because truthfully, like, they both need each other to survive.
Yes.
The content creators could absolutely, let me run that back. They could absolutely skip it and probably do okay. But like, they like going.
Yes,
they want to be there for the reasons you said. It is the rally point. Great way to put it. To at least check in with everybody, and for no other reason, just to have a good time.
I mean,
but they can also make valuable content there too.
But you also wouldn't want to be a mock builder with no audience,
right?
So if there's no one coming to see it,
it's there's some like. You know, like
I'm just trying to hit on a little animosity.
No. There's sure. I mean, like, look. I know what a couple of the beefs are, and we're hearing everybody, and we're working hard, you know, to try to figure out what that is. Like, for example, why do they get this special like labeled area? I think, you know, the person previously in charge of that, I've just started helping, you know, very much so wanted to do that and branded as such, because like everybody markets like people need to be hit over the head with stuff. I'm a little bit more nuanced than that, right? So there is that point of it. I think there was a little bit of animosity because some of our content creating friends will go out and film stuff, and some of them, I don't know that we associate with many of them, aren't crediting the builders, which they have a really big problem with, and rightfully so.
Well, I think the past couple of years we've learned to do that. I mean, I think the first year
some people didn't know.
No, right, that wasn't what do you call that? Like
priority. It wasn't.
Mode of operation, I guess you would say, right?
Yeah, they didn't know.
Yeah, so it took everybody to get upset the first year.
Yeah.
And after that, it started to become a thing.
And now you were like, hey, you know, look at this amazing Spider-Man build by Joe Smith. And check him out here and do the right thing there. So I think there was some of that. And then, you know, again, the preferential treatment and that kind of stuff. I don't really think, I think people think more is happening than it is.
Nothing's happening.
It's very much a very,
nothing's happening with
for the term roll your own experience. Again, I just, you know, if anybody takes away anything from this, there are activity signups, Shy. If you wanted to do, you know, an ode to Donald Duck display and bring all Donald Duck fans into, I don't know why I picked that.
Why?
I probably saw him in here somewhere. I'm back in Cali.
Oh, over there. It's the brickhead up there, yeah.
No, but if you want to be like, hey, Donald Duck Lego fans unite. You know, now, granted, you're going to apply for it. You might not get one of the most premium spaces for it year one. But they'll figure somewhere to put you, and it'll be on the calendar, and you can have the event. And so when people sort of complain that that there's stuff that's not for them, it's like, we're telling you again, it's not all going to get approved. Donald Duck might not, but like you could submit it.
Yeah, see what happens.
And it just depends on how many people you understand. And then there's traditions now. We have a foosball tournament for the third year.
Yeah, that's dope.
That was out of nowhere. We were just like,
fun. Everybody
hates that set. I saw the potential in it, so we need to have a World Lego Foosball Championship. And he's like, sounds great. Let's do it.
It's a fun activity doing what we love doing.
And I didn't know him that well when we did that. And he's like, that's cool. So it doesn't matter who you are, but it doesn't matter who you are or what, you know, that whole thing. There's no pull there. We were talking off air where, you know, this is like one of the least like sponsored / paid things that people just want to go to.
Yeah.
Like we can get real transparent. Like people want to be there, period.
Yeah.
Both on the side of YouTube, et cetera, and just people who want to go just to go. And I think it's a great intersection.
I think also, not to retract back a little bit to...
Not that there's anything wrong with sponsoring.
There's nothing wrong. No, you should.
Yeah.
I mean, all conventions do it. They throw out the Lego Masters and stuff like that. Yeah. You know,
you got to draw.
You're starting to see it now with other content creators like Ryan. He's a big draw now. But speaking of Ryan, putting us in the corner like that, I mean, it's not like we were put in the middle of the whole floor. We were put in the corner.
Yeah.
Which I personally love.
Yeah,
I like.
So we've talked about different positioning and like, I mean, for me, I'm big into kinetic energy, right?
Yeah.
Like, so if people are wondering sort of what that means, like when you go to a theme park, it's so cool. Like when you walk into Disneyland, it's like you got this happening out of your peripheral. You got the roller coasters. Like I'm very big into like kinetic energy like that. And so for me, obviously, and not just because we'd be on the mics, but I would love to see a world where there is like, I call it the college game day backdrop, where you walk into the convention, you got people on a stage doing this, you got these amazing builds here, you got the shops going on over here, your buddy just walked in, you hug him, the soda guy's over there. Like, I love that kind of stuff. But to your point, the amount of traffic that it could potentially draw, or even equally as important, take away from some of these loves and these builders. They don't want us infringing on their space. And to be honest, that corner that was used, that wasn't even used. There was nothing. It was negative, we made an impromptu, if you remember, podcast spot there the year before. So I was like, well, this real estate looks available. Can we have this and make it into something that's currently not anything? And let's make this into a podcast stage. So we have looked at moving things around, but it's funny, even if Mark, shout out to Mark and the team, would hear us out fully on it, we were actually in the middle of deciding that. And I said, you know what? You would text me. I talked to everybody. They're like, everybody just likes that corner anyway.
Corner rules, man.
We don't need the big main stage. I'd like to see it one day, because I'm always trying to make things bigger and plus them up. And I'd love to see a stage show where you do this on a stage in front of people with somebody super relevant. Like you interviewing Ryan like this in front of an audience, I think would play really well there. But then I'm like, does that need to happen on the floor though? That could be just done in the corner. Well, that, or it could be done in a different room, like a ballroom or whatever. Sure. Where the other panels are held,
where people would want to come that are going there for that purpose, not just kind of being bombarded by it, like as they're walking.
Right, and then there's debates of like, do we have loud? It was just just for the streaming audience. Is it for live? If it's for both. How do you pull that off? We're going to record here and have loudspeakers. Like, there's a lot of logistics. And
you created a little stage. There were some seats there. I mean, it was pretty dope. Like,
if for nothing else, it's just a cool.
It was pretty dope. What I was getting at was that what was Ryan, right? He generates a lot of huge crowd and traffic, right?
Sure.
And previous years, before this past one, he would have a line that goes around the whole thing. And
he was blocking fire exits.
He was blocking fire exits.
Legitimately.
He was blocking mock spaces for people to see, so people couldn't see other mocks.
So they were frustrated about that.
But having us in the corner like that.
I thought the building was frustrated, but it turns out other people were frustrated. It does pull that out of the way.
Exactly. Yeah. So that way, putting us in the corner that way, the stuff that you are pissed about.
Yeah.
If you're trying to find Emily and Ross, they're in the corner.
Right.
Or have you seen Duck Bricks? He's in the corner.
Right.
Like, have you seen Ryan?
He's at the meet and greet.
Yeah. He's seen Holly. He's at the corner. Like, so check him out.
So I will say, and you're friendly with a lot of these folks, as am I. Not everybody is super into. You can't put everybody in every box. So let me just say this. Some people don't love being amongst the throngs of people like you and I. You can put us in the middle of a crowd and shake, high five, get our way out of it. You might not necessarily be in the mood to do it, but you're not going to feel like
I get what
claustrophobic.
Yeah. Some
of our friends, and a lot of them do feel that way. There are people who mean well that want to say hello to their favorite YouTuber, that jump in the elevator with them, for example, and just be like, "Oh man, I'm a fan," and and like that happens to me. I'm like, "Nah, man, I'm a fan of you for even saying that. It's crazy." But there's some people who don't want that kind of smoke, and so that was the other reason for that area is like, hey, we appreciate. Yeah, there's a way to summarize. We appreciate that you want to meet them in the hall, and most people do, by the way. It's 99% of them. But it is nice to have sort of a structured spot, like, hey, you want to meet this person and really get maybe a little bit of meaningful FaceTime and a selfie with a nice backdrop and not in the middle of a hallway or where you got ketchup on your face. You can meet your favorite so-and-so from 1 to 2 p.m. on Saturday. Like that's
a good way of controlling them.
That just needed to happen, right? Yeah. So we do have these appearance sort of time slots now. Which again, it sounds sort of pedestrian. There wasn't as much, I don't think, celebrity back then when it first started. I don't think. Because, I mean, we're getting people into the stratosphere with numbers and people, and the other thing that's interesting is like people feel like they know you because they watch you all the time, but you don't know anything about them. And so, but I would say, and actually the other thing is it's a bona fide draw now, like straight up.
No,
it's not just the mocks that are the draw anymore. I'm sorry. It's not. It's not.
Yeah, mic drop on that one.
Well, it's true. The mocks are not the only draw to these conventions anymore.
It's not.
They want to see celebs or whatever you want to call it, their favorite influencers, creators, YouTubers, Instagrammers. They that's part of it now. I'm not saying it's the main, but it's definitely a part of the pie. They want to buy shit. They want to see them. They want to see the mocks.
I mean, as someone who owns a
And the
convention,
panels,
I mean,
they
you
want to
want
learn
that.
something.
You want to draw
There's
people. You
parts,
want money.
drafts. Yeah.
You want the money
Yeah.
to come in because otherwise, if you don't have these people coming in for what, and that's why people hire the Lego masters.
Some might not, by the way, and that's why that's why it's for everybody. That's what I'm saying. It's a part of the pie. There are some people who would rather it be without, and I respect that. But it's like there's room at the table for all of it.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
With all that, you've kind of gained like your a couple of brickheads.
Yeah.
Fam.
We hardly even hear that anymore. It's just ACOB now.
Yeah, well, but I'm
like, should we rebrand?
I had to say it out loud just so we could say the ACOB.
Yeah.
Now that I said the full name.
Yeah, a couple of brickheads.
Now it can be so now you have ACOB coming in the mass every year.
Yeah.
How's that been? Because the last time we talked about your channel, your podcast, your show, that was on Cali Brick Click, which was years ago now.
Years ago.
Yeah. So a lot has happened since then.
It has.
You're about to hit 5K, if not already.
We're at it. Yeah. We're there now.
Okay, cool. You're there now.
Skin of our teeth. We eked it out.
So you're at 5K, which congratulations.
Thank you.
For a show, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I keep I appreciate that. And you know better than anybody what it's like to try to do this exact thing to a degree. 5K, in the grand scheme of things to YouTube or even Lego YouTube doesn't sound like much. But again, we keep bringing up Ryan, but I mean, I go to him for, different things as I do with you as far as advice and things like that. He told me, he's like, you guys have got it going on and you're doing well, but there's a cap on this. Cause I think he's tried it.
Oh yeah, he was.
Solid Bricks has tried to spin one up. I mean, a lot of people have tried to do this. You did it.
Yeah,
I
did it. Yeah.
Everybody tried to spin up a podcast or a show in the Lego space. And the reality is there is a cap to it, no matter who you bring. I can bring the heaviest hitter of them all, Ryan. I can bring you. I can bring Tyler. I can bring everybody on. There is a cap to it. It's just a different audience.
It's a very specific person.
It's a very specific audience.
Wants to like hang out for an hour and a half or more.
They could love whoever you're bringing. They could love the topic. We just did Jurassic again. It's always a blast, right? But it's like now you're really niching down where it's like they gotta love Lego, they gotta love Jurassic, they gotta love the idiots talking, and they gotta want to do it for 3 hours.
Exactly.
Right. And so it's like I understand why we're only at 5K and maybe some people's eyes, but to me that's a mighty 5K.
No, it is.
That's a mighty 5K. There are shows that would die to have that, and also to have the sort of conversion and listenership that we do every week. Of course.
You definitely have a loyalty.
Kills me when we have to like miss shows. Like it's meaningful to me.
Like this past Thursday when I couldn't listen to you guys when I'm on the replay game and run my marathon. Man, what the hell was that?
Yeah,
I needed you guys, man.
We get that. That's to me like the biggest compliment / makes me feel bad. They're like, I had to get through my shitty shift on Friday, man.
And now we don't have a hive. What's going on?
I'm like, hey, and then I always super apologize, but now I'm like, there's 180 of them in the archives. I know you haven't heard them all. And some guys are like, no, I have a couple times. I'm like, why? But yeah, no. So things have changed. I mean, we're at 5,000. And I'm branching out a little bit. You're wearing the glasses now. I did start a little bit of short game, which has contributed to it, but it also gives me like a little bit of an outlet to just fancy myself a pretty creative person. And I feel like I put myself in a box by being the live streamer guy, because I think that
you fought me pretty hard about making content, man.
Yeah. Well, I was because that's really what I thought I had time for. Look, I'm the first to admit, we come up with a thumbnail and a topic and we load up some websites and we let it rip, but I like it that way.
Yeah.
I like live, man. I like
warts
and all. I love
the back and forth that you can get. You know what I mean? You love that.
And you were talking to me off air about like what I told you, I think I finally have the answer of why we started it and why we continue to do it.
What is it?
ACOB is the comments section come to life. That is what it is.
Yes.
And shout out to Brett Cooper. She has a show named that. That's probably why I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, that's what we're thinking about. Yeah.
But that's it's true. It's like I used to be. So it started, I was watching Brent Solo Dolo. He would stream and just build and talk with his small but mighty chat, similar to what we still have. He'd have 10 consistent dudes in there talking to him. And I was like, man, I bet he'd have a lot more fun if somebody was in there doing it with him. And I'm laughing my ass off at the people who are still with us today, just making funny comments in there. It's not nasty. It's not rude. It's not sexual. It's just like funny.
Yeah, it's good.
Just funny inside.
It's a good time. It's a good time.
It doesn't all have to be like dark and blue and vulgar, whatever. But like just people are like, and some of that's funny too. I'm sorry. I'm not a saint. I love funny shit. Anyway, point is like, I was like, Man, I would love to, he's building this set. I would love to just be on there and be like, is that really worth 160 though? And why do you think that is? And why is this set an exclusive here? Like, I'm asking the questions that I felt like needed to be asked.
Yeah.
We care about minuscule shit a lot, like why, why is clearance only happening here? Like we take the onion and peel it back. I think the mainstream creators do their job of, here's the set, here's the review of different qualities and cinematic, value, and commentary and expertise. Like, I love Jang. It's not for everybody. Now, some people don't want to dedicate 25 minutes to a review. I will for him because he knows what the fuck he's talking about.
That is sure, 100%.
Okay. If I want to see something quick and dirty, in and out, beautifully shot, you'll go to Shy for that. But for us, we're like somewhere in the
you're real time.
Middle.
You're real time.
And like we can go an hour on one set. We can go an hour on a minifigure. If the feedback is there and they really want to talk about this minifigure, like, we can do it.
Yeah.
And so I think that's it. It's the comment section come to life. We very much so pay attention to what's working and what's not. I try not to get into the metrics too much, but we see where it's rising and falling.
I love the music.
Oh, the music. Yeah. Well,
the waves that hit her right now.
Yeah. Well, the music, I mean, that was just, I don't even remember. Actually, it started it's funny because I feel like it's been there forever.
It's been a minute, man.
Our theme song's always been a bop. Yeah. I love our theme song still to this day. But the super chat videos, here's some trivia for you. That was May the 4th of last year was the first time we did that. Did you know that?
I didn't know. I don't remember.
Because it feels like it's been longer. Okay. So we just started the music like last May. That's pretty wild to me on a consistent basis like that. And so now we've got something like 12 songs. That
more than 12 songs. Yeah, way more than 12 songs.
And so, I mean, people leave it. It's like I wanted to reward the super almost like a jukebox kind of thing.
That's what it feels like.
And that's what it is.
That's
so
what it
people
is. What do you want to hear?
Yeah, people leave a super chat and they either do or don't. A lot of them say DJ's choice and they want to hear one of these songs. And as far as those, I mean, it's really just a lot of inside stuff from the show. But some of it can transcend that a little bit.
No, with the songs, it's a perfect example of, your following, like your little cult following. That's really like you've really harnessed on them being able to not only comment, also like, provide income, to like literally like be a part of the show by making everybody listen to a song that they really want to hype up. And I think you did a really good job at that I think has definitely made it transcend to a different level.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, I've always been, you knew this about me before we let it out, but I've always been like musical.
Yeah, always.
Always, your freestyle, rapping, whatever, doing stuff in the background, listen to a lot of music. And so I took that. Well, I'll be honest with you. We can get into a little bit of this AI stuff for a minute. So look, the reality is, and you know this, I mean, I always wanted to just get beats and rap over them myself and make my own stuff.
That's a lot of work.
It is, but the main issue is, I was going to say it's the money, but it's really just having to vet and figure out what songs you can use and what songs you can rap over and either pay a royalty or not, but just know that you own it. And so for me, it was always like really difficult either buying beats, making beats that you can use without getting struck. And so some of these AI apps have come around and you can kind of tell it what music you want it to play. And I think where people get confused is like, it's just doing all the work. And you've messed with it a little. It's not like that. It's fun. No, but it's a tool.
It's a good tool.
It's a tool, and you still have to have these inputs on it. And then you cut the video together to go with it. And then it's got to come from some lore from somewhere else. So
it has to make sense.
Anybody who says like anybody can do it, you can, but it's just like anybody can play basketball too. You got to,
that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
And I'm not saying we're NBA level at it, but we're using it, I think, to almost its fullest potential for what we need it to do.
The Wave's a killer, man. I love that song.
So he really loves if you haven't heard The Wave yet, check it out on our channel. But no, I mean, and it's this little 30-second. I'm very.
It's a tease.
I'm the most long-winded person ever, obviously, but I do like those to be succinct. I want to get in, get out, 30 seconds, boom. Some are a minute, but yeah, it is a tease. And it's a tease, but it's an earworm, and it's part of the thing now. You got to hear it. You're like, okay, the show started. Even for me, I'm like, okay, we're in it now. And I've always paid attention to soundtracks and things like that in movies, because that can Star Wars, I'd argue, is 50% the soundtrack.
Yeah,
you take that soundtrack out, it's not as good of a movie.
It's gonna be hella dry.
No,
it's gonna be hella dry.
You know, I don't know. I just so I've always thought like, what can I bring in that's personal to me to share with the audience is music. And not to mention, we do our own songs as well. To be clear, we do use those tools, but we do our own, including a music video last year.
Yeah,
and very few people have done that in this space. So
it's dope. So
we're just trying new shit.
I love it, dude. I love it.
And I run most of it by Shy.
That's true. I always get that.
He's told me no twice, I think. He's like, I wouldn't do that one. I wouldn't, or not ever no, but maybe do it this way.
Yeah, change it up a little bit. I don't know if you should say that.
He's the good angel on my shoulder, because I'm like, this one, when I'm nervous about it, it's time to reach out for Shy. That's my gauge.
So then what do you see ACOB in the future then? You have any aspirations for it?
I do. So I'm going to say this again publicly so I make myself do it, but we really do need. We do. You know, there's no reason that I can't at the very least do commentary videos. I mean, I can just get on there and spit. We're all, again, some people know this, some people don't, but like most of us are all friends outside of this stuff, especially stuff people we've had on the show and stuff. Like City just goes on, turns on Stud City. You know, the news will break. Yeah, Cristo, great guy. Great friend. He'll just cut it on and just give his raw thoughts, you know, on a recorded video. Just it's not. In other words, I don't necessarily need to wait for Thursday to do that. Pokemon just revealed.
Yes,
probably old news by the time we see this, but like
definitely old news.
I did a quick short on it, but it's like if I was able to and I had a moment and I wasn't working, I could do a probably better version of that and flesh that out a little bit more, and just start posting things like that. I don't think I'm ever going to be a reviewer. I'm definitely not going to be a live build guy. If I do,
I mean, we were doing horribly. We stopped.
if I do a live build, there will be a gimmick around it like this.
Yeah.
But I just, again, nothing against it. I just think click. Hey, how's it going? Good. I'm good too. Click. That's just, I try to like what
I see you jump on those chats every now and then.
I'll watch it. Well, I mean, you say hi to the boys. Yeah. But I mean, I don't watch it. No. I'm there again for the comments and to talk to whoever is building to keep them company. I don't like just watching live builds. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it. And that's why I don't do it, because I'm like, I just think people, even though everybody said, no, we'll still be there for you when you do it. I'm like, I don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't do something that you don't love doing anyway.
Well, I mean, it's just, you get distracted from one or the other.
I mean, I can't build and talk, and like we gave up.
Well, I mean, we're having a good time.
Yeah, we gave up. It's fine. We can give up.
No, we got to finish bag 1.
No, you can. No, I think we did. It's telling me to open bag 3, but I think you have to do a section.
Oh, this thing's getting really weird.
Oh, because we haven't done anything. So let's start. Let me start the party again.
Jesus,
I think we totally failed at this. It's all good, man. We can build it later. We have to do it now. Screw it. I give up. So yeah, ACOB, you know, you have something there, and you should definitely be proud of that.
I just think thank you, and I appreciate that, and I want to do more. I'm ready to do more.
I mean, you have 2 shows now.
We do.
They're consistent.
They're consistent. But I'm like, is it giving? So one of the critiques from our friends is we're doing too much. We're giving too much on those. But I think that's part of the magic of it, because stuff gets weird in hour 3, as you know, often.
Yeah, all the time.
Especially beverages flowing. But I do think like keep that. But then like, what else can we do to like grow it for other people? Welcome more people in, because again, you have a ceiling on how many people want to see effectively dudes sitting around talking about Lego. The way I don't like to watch people sit around and build Lego, there's people who don't like what we do.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But I'm also like, I bet though, and this is my theory for everything in life. If you get to know the people, you're going to care more about what they're doing.
Yeah.
The best thing UFC ever did was make the Ultimate Fighter reality show. Because if you remember, UFC at first was cool because they used to have them like, we're talking in the 90s. They had them like once a quarter. And it was just like, you couldn't miss it. But then when they started running the pay-per-views monthly, you're like, the Brazilian guy versus, I don't really care. You put them in this house and you get to know their family situation. Yeah. You get to understand what makes them tick, their motivation for being there, how good they actually are. Are they decent people? Are they a scumbag? Right? And then they present these 2 to fight, and you're like,
because you're invested into them.
You're invested into the character. Exactly. You're invested in because effectively, the ones who are smart, now some get by on production quality alone because it's just so good and it's so rich and crisp and You know, they get stuff early. They get by on production, I would say. Others are more personality. The ones who truly excel are the ones who bring it both together.
Yeah.
And for me, using the UFC analogy, it's
I mean, you could say Formula One.
Formula One. I mean, the big same thing. No, but that's what I'm saying. Everybody took that playbook from UFC. UFC made people care about what some call human cockfighting. They actually made people care about the guy. Boxing did it with the 24/7.
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
You had Mayweather versus Pacquiao. Already had a massive following, and people knew it was important to watch it. I think average sports guy fan knew that was a mega matchup. But now you layer in 7 one-hour episodes of their training camps, of them being with their kids, and what's on the line in this fight and why it really matters. And you add those 7 hours. Now you sell that pay-per-view, it's 5 million buys versus 1 million. People knew it was big, and the purists and the hardcores who don't necessarily care about the personality stuff and just want to see the sweet science in the ring. That's the way I look at the Lego communities. There's some people who care about the sweet science, which is the mocks and the techniques and all that, and there is that there. And then there's people who cover news, and people care about that too. But I think if you put a backstory on either one of those, it's just going to amplify. And I think people, you know, no one's ever accused us of being like the greatest investigative journalists, right? Or using the proper term glossary of terms. Like, I don't know half of this stuff. I just know, like, yeah, we like it, and here's why, and this is why I don't like it. And I wonder what they're doing there, and trying to dig in a little bit more of the why and how, which is one corner of it. But I would like to do some more of the fundamental stuff, albeit always with some sort of twist, because you know,
you gotta be different.
You gotta be different. And I think I would not make for a great traditional reviewer, but like, is there a way I could do a 5-minute review? I'm not saying it's the most original thing, but get all the points in, get some of my stuff that I want to get in, the music, the personality, the culture, whatever it is we're doing, and then still provide that service of a review. Could we do that? I
think you can. Like, you have a mic presence. That's definitely there,
right? And I feel like that's my strength more so than this other stuff. So I always have to be mindful of that. You can't change too much about what brought you to the dance, right? You can't get there and then be fake. I can't. And I wear my heart on my sleeve. And you know, I think there's times where if I was a little more political and I kept my mouth shut or opened my mouth when I should, then I might be further along. But then I might not either.
Yeah. It's a double-edged sword on that one. Yeah, you never know.
If I shut up on that, then that might not have impressed so and so that got me to here, or vice versa. And so I quit. You know, I'm an elder statesman here, and so I've just learned, like, I'm just gonna go with me. I'm all right. We can always improve, but I'm like, I don't want to deviate too much from who I am, and I don't have to, because this isn't my main thing. That's the other thing, right? This is extremely part-time, which at times it does become more than part-time.
No,
because to be clear, we all have a lot of us have normal jobs too.
But you're also doing it weekly.
Yeah.
So,
but I feel like I'm still doing less than people, obviously, who are doing this to literally put food on the table.
Oh yeah, no,
full time.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So I want to respect their hustle. And remember, I started live streaming at first because it's easy, because you can just pop on a camera and do it poorly. Or you can try to put some structure behind it, build a community, come up with fun stuff.
I'm about to say, so when you bring it up right now, there's been a couple shows from Instagram or other YouTube channels or whatever who like want to create a show.
Yep.
Right. And I always use you guys as a pure example of like what to kind of base it off of, as far as like,
why would you do that?
No, because it makes sense. You've built a community, you're consistent, and you say stuff that are pretty much interesting, right? It doesn't feel like it's like what I'm doing here, where it's extremely guest based,
right?
Like, you don't need a guest if you don't have to. You and Brent or whatever host that you have at the time can literally carry the show without bringing anybody else on, right? So
which is a luxury we didn't have.
Yeah, but now you do.
First,
so you guys are good now. So what are some things that you would tell someone who wants to start a show on their own, which I love seeing new shows pop up, you know, because you guys are only a few hours out on a Thursday. I like to listen to shows like this all day, every day.
That's a tough question. The first thing, and please don't let this go in one ear and out the other. I think it does for a lot. It went in and out of my ears for years. That's why I started so late in life. Is just get started, please. Don't get paralysis on your equipment or anything like that. Even your name. When I decided to do this, A couple of brickheads. Is it the best name ever? No. If you really know what we were thinking during, it's a little funnier. But like, but then it became ACOB anyway, and then it becomes like, just come up with something.
Wait, say it again, because in case a reminder for people that doesn't know where that lore
couple
comes
of
from.
brickheads. I was just like, it sounded a little bit like a couple of dickheads, and I made sure that we used the S and not a Z, so there wouldn't be any problems. And also derived from sneakerheads, you know, that's a term. And so, and there's gearheads. I mean, there's heads for everything. And so anyways, we didn't sit there and let that slow us down. I didn't have the best mic setup. I didn't have the best webcam. I had the free version of StreamYard. I get that question all the time. And I think that those are good questions to ask, but I can see now that I'm in it, why when I used to send DMs or make comments in my favorite YouTubers videos, like, what camera are you using? It doesn't matter. You don't want it to look like a potato, but outside of that, like, I will say the first, and you'd agree with this, if you're going to spend money on anything, if you want to do this and talk, it's your audio.
Oh, 100%.
I would rather you have that than the fancy StreamYard and the graphics and this and that. Get a decent mic, because if your whole thing is they're just listening to you, that's number one. But number two is like, seriously, just get started. Even if you don't have a fancy mic, even if you're using just your there are bazillionaires that are working with just their iPhone.
Yes.
So you cannot tell me that I didn't have the gear to get started.
100%.
You don't have Shy's lights here? Go to a window, open it up. Is it nighttime? Okay. Put your TV on something static that's bright, work yourself around and figure it out.
We all have lamps.
We all have lamps.
We all have lamps.
I mean, I broadcast, I'm on the road a lot for work. I take the hotel room lamp. I think you told me this, and I bounce it off the wall so it's not too bright on my you just learn little things, but that's my biggest advice is, and figure what you want to be about and try to come up with, see, it's different for every people. Some people just want to cut on and talk, but I'm like, remember, if you're trying to get an audience though, you kind of got to let them know what you were talking about. And it can either be done in your thumbnail, which again, you've helped me with. I feel like we're like actually good now.
Yeah, you're fine.
It used to be a car crash.
Yeah, you're good now.
But like, you want to be able to convey quickly. Remember, you're competing with thousands of other things. The thing I don't like to see is when people are like, I'm not getting any views. I'm like, well, you're not changing anything. You're not telling people it's not views. It's an audience that's stolen from Beast. That was the best thing to ever say.
He's never,
people are worried about the algorithm, and people are worried about, I'm not getting views and boohoo me. And it's like, okay, but who are you talking to? You know, for us, it's like we put on there plain as day, August 1st, Star Wars preview. If somebody's into that, they're going to at least check it out. Now, what we do with that, once we got them, they might bounce and be like, this guy's singing songs about, you know,
Emperor.
But this one guy that, you know, wears the flannel's pretty funny. And this guy, Shy's pretty smart and, you know, whatever, like, then they stick around. But that's my advice is like, you know, just number one, just get started. You'll figure out some of this stuff. Watch a little bit of the guru stuff. You know, you don't want to get too,
don't
then you won't make anything.
Yeah.
It's, you know what, another
that's
example.
Definitely debilitating.
What's the best diet out there right now?
I don't know. There's so many.
Perfect. So if you go and say like, what's the best diet right now? You'll get ones that say, don't eat carbs, only eat proteins, blah, 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 blah. Right? You ask 10 different gurus and 10 different people will tell you 10 different things. That is what you'll hear by watching gurus on YouTube. It's your lighting. I'm telling you, it's your mic. I'm telling you, you got to get into finance because it has the best paying ads. You got to, don't do any of that. And it, again, sounds corny and by the book, but like, what do you, if you're going to do a talk show, it needs to be something that you have a decent amount of knowledge or want to learn more about. Yes. I came in 2 years into Lego. I knew F all about it, but I knew I was excited about it and I wanted to learn more about it. And
but you also made that apparent. You were staying true to what you know.
I'm like, I'm no expert.
Yeah.
I do have a background in pop culture and retail, so I understand a little bit. But yeah, that's what I would say is like, there is no one best way. There is no number one best diet. I think balance, like everybody says, like, you know, don't ever not eat the cake because then you're depriving yourself, but also don't eat the whole cake. And that could be applied to YouTube and all these tips you hear from all over the place. Just try stuff.
Yeah.
And do it for you too, by the way.
There you go.
Do it for you, man. Don't go with stars in your eyes wanting to get rich. And it's just, it could happen and you can definitely affect that. We were talking off air about people who have really started doing more of like what's factually working versus maybe a little bit staying true to themselves, but they made that decision and that's cool for them. They might, a lot of them, this is their sole income.
This is their job. Yeah.
They have to do what's
You don't
popping.
have a choice.
They might not want to do what's popping. You know, you hear one for me, one for them. If you think your audience will like something that you're not super into, but you know that they'll click with, then you do one like that. But go back to something that makes you happy. It's hard. You have to be in it to, you know, you don't understand till you just get started. It's like riding a bike.
Well, how does it feel to be able to give advice like that now? Now that you've been doing it for so long.
I don't know if it's good advice.
I thought it was fair advice. That was really good.
I don't know. I mean, again, it's weird for me to be any kind of authority on anything because I like to say, and it's a little self-deprecating, but like we're nobodies. You know what I mean? Like we're just some dudes. And I respect that people want to ask us, but I'm like, I don't know. Go ask somebody who's like actually a legend. You know? but if you do want to hear what I have to say, here's what I have to say.
How long has it been already?
It'll be 4 years this summer. Yeah, I mean that's experience.
Yeah,
but I'm just like, you know, a guy who's in big trouble right now. Kanye. We got to get it. We had to work Kanye. No, but like he says, don't take advice from people less successful than you. You know, and that resonates. It's a little bit of a smart ass and very on brand for Kanye.
Yeah,
whether you like him or not. But it's like, you know, like it is hard. But I do coach up. You do. You constantly are coaching up.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people that you're in their ear that are much bigger than you and I will ever be. And so I don't know that I believe in that, but it is weird if somebody, I think some people that do think that way would be like, not listen to me because of that. Does that make sense?
No, I get what you're saying.
Not because of what he said, but they came to that conclusion themselves. Like, what's this guy know? And I think what you and I do, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, is if we were doing this full time and we did come up at that time, I bet we'd have a lot more going on.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm confident that we would be much bigger, much whatever. It's just, it's late in the game. Don't have much time for it, but boy, if I do, I'd be whooping some ass.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm whooping ass at like the level we can right now. But like,
you're doing what you can.
Yeah,
you're doing and there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Like I haven't posted a video in like a month.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're semi-retired.
So, but that's pretty good. I'm very happy for a couple of brickheads. I'm very happy for you guys. I mean, Brent, he's has a new endeavor.
Yeah,
I'm hoping to see him more.
No, he is. You know, the schedule's been tough, and and we can talk about that. I mean, and that's the other thing. You know, I mean, just you got to be able to adapt, adjust on the fly. Things happen. We were out of the house. We had to move. You know, we had some stuff happen to us. Again, all the stuff these guys are saying is true, man. Consistency. I could have given that would have been one excuse Shy would have taken. Hey, man, I'm out of my house for 6 months. He would have let me off for about 2 weeks and been like, hey, where's the portable rig? Let's go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you could very easily. But look, my house got hit by a tree last year. It's been out a little bit, but a tree flattened my house and we were out of it for 9-10 months. And you could have packed it in. But I think we had our most growth when we were outside of that. You know, I'm broadcasting from different areas.
Well, you changed what you needed to do. Yeah, you had the homies come in. They filled in.
Yes.
That's another good thing that you have about your show is that you're not afraid to bring in the homies from
recurring cast.
Yeah, you have a cast of characters that will come on whenever. I mean, obviously you have, you know, Tyler, myself, you know, Josh, anyone that you would want to come on. But then you also have the crew. Yeah. That have been like die hard from the beginning that you've grown to trust and rely on, willing to come on and now create their own shows. Joseph.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and that's you're right. I mean, that's a good point. There's people and they are these things I'm saying to you all in like one fell swoop again over 3-4 hours a week times years. They've probably picked up little bits and pieces. I have said just get started.
Yeah.
I've said all these things again, not in a row. And I think that's what they're doing. You know, we do have viewers, listeners, friends that have spun off their own shows and they're asking me stuff. And I'm like, dude, yeah, that's awesome. Let's get started. You know, what do you need? They ask me, I'm going to tell them just like you do. I'm like, yeah, I don't know about the thumbnail. What are you trying to say here? You know, but it's always like, dude, go for it.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah. Why not? And they said that, you know, we inspired them and I'm still like, you know, that's just weird to hear. But I'm like, okay, well, now do that, but do something a little bit different, you know?
I mean, one thing you do have that I can't ignore before we split for this is that you've created a brand.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, you have your own merch. You created your own sets.
We had merch at like a couple hundred subs.
Yeah, but yeah, shirts. That's cool. But you've created like sets.
Yeah.
shout out to Lake, like minifigures, not because it's hard to
everybody had a sig fig. Well, you know the story.
Yeah.
Everybody has a sig fig, and again, nothing wrong with that. But I'm like, you remember we had gotten to the point where we should have had a sig fig 2 years in.
Yeah,
at least a sig fig
for sure.
Even not a custom, just make my face out of Obi-Wan's beard and a hat and
call it a day.
And it had been so long. I'm like, well, now if we come out with a sig fig, it's going to be like, there's no way it won't be lame. So I was like, well, there's only one way to fix this. We got to go above what they'd expect, and let's make a set.
Banger.
And Lake happened to, he's a good friend, and he was watching, and I don't know if I said it on the air. I don't know how it happened, but he reached out with some ideas. And I'm like, holy shit. All right, let's keep massaging this and get it going. And yeah, so our sig fig is only available in a set because I wanted to do it big, if for no other reason. And I'm like, Shy, has anybody done it like this? You're like, nope. I'm like, great. If it flops, it flops. But it didn't. Fortunately,
they're hard to come by.
Yeah,
they made them rare.
They're being resold. But no, we're going to be expanding that. I will say our next one will be in time for Brick World. I think we're going to make that annual. That'll be our UGS.
And have to buy 2 every single time.
Yep, our ultimate Girth series set. So we'll have one of those drop every year before Brick World. And
no, but like right there, you just said girth.
Yeah.
Right? That's a part of the culture you've created.
I know. You can't say it in front of anybody else, but yeah.
You have elements to your brand that's very niche and specific to you guys, that it's become a cult-like thing, which is great because
I like that it's getting outside of there.
It's definitely getting out there. You can see creators accidentally saying it, nobes for sure.
Yeah.
So you have you have a language that is definitely unique.
Wolf of Bricks just dropped Full Price Jones. He's like, a lot of you are out there paying full price Jones. And I'm like, I love that he's doing it, but do they know what he's saying? And then, I think in time people do. I don't,
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying that's cool.
I love that part. To me, that's the coolest part, is just putting stuff out there and seeing what sticks.
Yeah.
But none of it, is by design. It just comes out. It just
came out. And because
people think of more stuff. I'm like, doesn't work that way.
No,
it has to come off the rip. Yeah.
It comes out. It definitely comes out. Definitely generically, and it just kind of sticks. And whatever you think feels hot,
you push it.
You push it.
Oh yeah.
you make a shirt out of it. You make a song out of it.
It's funny because there are things that you think it's like a video that you upload. You're like, this one's gonna kill. This is gonna be great. And I'll think of something. And right when you think like, oh, this one's gonna work, it does. It's the one. It doesn't. Right. So that's why. Again, with the 3 hours or so that we have to play with a week, you can throw a lot of stuff at the wall and see what sticks. Wave is an example. It's this song we're talking about. It's a super chat song. Just happens to be hot right now. But here's what happens is you put that song out there and people like the song. Great. People pay to hear the song with a super chat. Even better. Cool. They're vibing with it. But then you're noticing in the chat, like the wave emoji is out there.
Yeah.
And not only the water wave, but the hand wave. And then people just start building off of it. And I know that's like generally how the internet works. But for an old guy, I'm just like,
you're memeing yourself, dude.
Yeah. And they're just like, and then you see it other places and, so that part's been really fun. Yeah. Just like things spinning out of control.
That's
I was like, this is pretty good. I like it. I'm happy with it. And then it
explodes.
There's been ones where I'm like, they're going to love this. I'm like,
Yeah.
So
the waves kill. I love that one.
Let the audience decide. I mean, they'll tell you. And that's what's so great. I mean, I will say, the coolest part has been having, the 130, 150 some odd people that are in there regularly on the lives there to give us strength and energy.
I'm usually on the replay.
And you can do it off of 10. It is hard to do it off of none. I'll tell you that. I mean,
it took you how long to get to that point?
Years. But
exactly.
I mean, that is where maybe having a script is helpful. But if you have something to bounce off of, and certainly, I guess one more little piece of advice, like at least have some bullets. It doesn't have to be like.
No, you're pretty organized.
It doesn't have to be a script, but have some different topics you want to jump to. Pay attention to your viewers. If it's dropping, maybe think about switching. There's all kinds of things, but I didn't know anything about any of it. I mean, I had done like some professional radio with my friends as like the goofy guy would come in as a guest, but I never had to like produce it. And that's the other thing. I mean, it's a lot.
Are you having fun?
Yeah.
You're having a blast though still.
No, we're having fun. Yeah. I mean, like, look, last week I just couldn't go, man. We had a trip coming.
You came here
outside forces, stresses. I wasn't like sick, traditionally sick. I just was like, I know it's going to be subpar tonight, and I'm not going to do it to the guys. But
that's fair.
Just you can't do that too often. I mean, I think we've only missed, probably less than 10 in 4 years, if I had to guess. Mm-hmm. So I understand the importance of consistency and being reliable and everybody, there.
No, but unlike your show, mm-hmm. you have people to fill in if need be. Like if you truly wanted to, or like you and Brent could literally just give it up to the homies, and then you would trust to be able to do something with it. If you trust them. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't think a lot of shows can do that.
No, yeah, it's cool. It's cool that you do have like sort of pieces that you can plug in, but then you just don't want to like burden them with it either. And a lot of it's usually last minute. Like if I have like a super planned one, sure, but I mean, it just depends if it's seat of the pants or like a long thought out idea, mm-hmm. Which by its very nature, a lot of it has to be seat of the pants, because I'll have something planned on a Monday, send you the thumbnail, and then Thursday morning they announce Pokemon, for example. And you're like, well, shit,
you got to change it all up.
You got to go with what's popping. So, but yeah, when you can have that advance notice, it's helpful.
So, is ACOP doing anything special at Brickworld?
Yeah, man, we got a lot going on.
Oh, it's like that.
No, look, we have our set release. We do have foosball tournament will continue. We're trying to put together this thing called Duel of the Plates, which is a Star Wars minifigure lightsaber battle kind of stage here, Rock'em Sock'em Robot thing. Expect some music.
I'm about to say, we didn't even talk about that. Like you guys create a song which then had a performance with Duck.
Yeah, we did the song with Duck and
with the fold.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was intense.
That's available on YouTube. You can search that Brick World Duck Bricks. Look for him. We'll find him before you find us. No, that was wild. And that one, if you ask like what I'm most proud of, it's probably that, because we called our shot there. I was like, I'm going to make this song and we're going to do it on stage. if the fold will let us, and they had no incentive. They're like, they're like, I'm paraphrasing, but they're like, all right, so you want to do a Star Wars minifigure song during a Ninjago concert, but we like Duck. I knew I had Duck because Duck, sang with them before. And I was like, look, either we can open for you or it's an intermission, and it's one song, and I think it would be cool, man, to have like just more, maybe it gets other people thinking the same way. Cause I'd love for someone this year, like, as long as they can do it. Yeah. But like I have
a little concert going.
A little bit. Yeah. Like a little
variety show.
Yeah, a little talent show, whatever. And so the guys were very awesome. They're like, the best they could do sight unseen, besides me saying, trust me, it'll be all right. They're like, yeah, let's give it a spin. And I didn't hear from him for like 3 or 4 days. And again, I hope this is close to exactly how it worked. But he's like, hey, man, we've been listening to that all weekend. It's awesome. He's like, yes, let's go. Yes, you can do it. And I was like, yes.
It was a good song.
Yeah.
It was catchy.
I wish, a little more on the production val, on the bass is a little low. But other than that, it was fun. And those guys are awesome. And we hope to be working with them again this year with some stuff. But yeah, man, just streaming, hanging, running around, just all kinds of stuff, man. Just stay tuned. It's a lot. It's a lot.
I mean, are we going to be able to see ACOP anywhere but Brickworld?
I mean, I'm going to try to get to Atlanta. I think that's a fair ask. I think for like a week long, no.
You don't have to. I mean,
that's my whole pass for the century.
I went to Atlanta just one day. I just went to one day.
Oh, I wouldn't fly that far for that. I don't even do that for work. So
think about it. You fly in, don't buy a hotel room, fly out.
I could see doing like a Friday to Sunday to Atlanta. That's very doable.
That's very doable.
That's a 3-hour, couple nights hotel. Kids can come in for part of it, go do something else for the rest of it. Yeah, I think we could do that.
What about any other ones? You ever thought about those? Slopes,
I'd like to get to more of the Brick World ones. I do want to go to Slopes. I think we have an invite there. I'm friendly with everybody. It's just it's the time. It's a time, dude.
Yeah.
It's a time. It's
time of the year too.
It's just time, kids, real job, marriage, mortgage. I mean, there's a lot. Balance. Dogs, lawns, taxes.
Can we tell Mark to keep it off of Father's Day weekend?
Mark, keep it off of Father's Day, Mark. Knock it off, Mark.
Dude.
Yeah.
That kills me. This year, I was going to go from Monday to Monday.
Yeah.
But I've reduced it to like Wednesday to Saturday.
All right.
Yeah. So I was gonna drive, but I want to be home for Father's Day.
Yeah, I think I'm still doing Monday to Monday. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well,
we can adjust it.
We failed at building this, so sorry, Lego. We didn't finish the build. This is how far we got.
Hey man, again,
but, you could take this home
built
and
the
finish.
most iconic part, the cartridge.
Enjoy the rest of the build on the flight.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. You can
can lose these between the cushions. That'll be good. No, I appreciate it. It's always good to hear.
Enjoy, have fun. But yeah, dude, thanks for coming down. I'm happy you were I'm happy you got to see that. Like that's
I'm looking over here at the Lego room. It's
sick.
He does a lot with very little space. I will give him credit there.
Everyone feels like, oh, I thought this was gonna be much bigger. Like, nah, man, that's just a play on the lens.
Yeah. No, I appreciate the opportunity. I still feel like it's a little fuzzy about exactly what we do. It's kind of like you just have to like watch it and then to understand. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
I mean, what would you describe it as? If you
a couple of brickheads?
Yeah, it's tough.
It's like, a bunch of dumbasses talking about Lego. That's literally what.
Right. Oh, good. Okay, well, good. That's better.
This is what
I'm trying to get all like philosophical.
Because it's literally like the homies talking. Like it feels like you're back on the block. You're just talking, kind of BSing with everybody, just talking. There's no filter. I mean, well, there is a little bit, but
I let most fly. Yeah,
but it feels like I'm just hanging with the boys.
Yeah,
exactly what you've.
So if you're looking for something like that. But also, I will say, like you said,
you know what it feels like?
There's rails, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing, because I think there's this. You've heard of this reputation, like the two dudes talking podcast. Yeah. Like I can understand why some people are turned off by that, because at the end of the day, they think they're hilarious and their shit doesn't stink and da 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 da. And it's like, I'm very aware of like, this is going nowhere. We got to dump out of it.
It's out of it. Yeah.
So to be clear, like there is a organized chaos.
No, definitely organized.
A lot of it's more intentional than people think.
Well, now it is.
Yes. But I don't want people, again, hour 3, who knows? But I don't want people to think it's just one of those where it's just a bunch of dudes.
No. There's definitely purpose of what you guys are talking about. There's definitely a reason to be here. What you're saying, but what it feels like it's so
at its core. Yeah.
It's so that it feels like we're on a road trip, talking back and forth. Like we're just saying, hey,
or in the car,
like in the car, like just hang out in line, or just being like, yo, Pokemon just showed up. What do y'all think? I'm like, yo, about time.
Yeah, we'd say like, are they gonna have figs? It's what you'd expect people. Again, it's a comment section. I think that is a fair
comment section is a good analogy.
So, anyways, if you're new to this, give it a whirl. I promise it's a fun time. And
I mean, everyone watching this right now has heard of a couple of brickheads.
I don't know. I don't know that, but if you say so.
I'm just saying.
All right,
man. I appreciate you, bro. Love you.
Love you too, man.
Have a safe trip home. All right, peace.
Peace.
That was that, man. That was dope, dude. Long time coming.
Yeah. This is what we do.
Nah, that's good. One thing about it is that